Fix old cameras. Your successful completion of the demonstrated repair ultimately depends on the quality of your tools, the condition of your camera, and most importantly, your repair ability.
Retina, Retina 2A, whichever you prefer. To remove the top cover, begin by grasping the rewind film fork and spinning off the rewind knob. Also slip off the shaft bushing. A spanner wrench will be needed to remove the advanced lever retainer. A sturdy tweezers could be used. A custom-made spanner wrench could also be fashioned. Regardless, once the advanced lever retainer is removed, carefully lift the entire counter dial assembly from the top of the camera. Handle it carefully, for if it separates, you will have to reassemble the counter dial assembly. The advanced lever and the counter dial spring can be removed next. If on the removal of the counter dial it blew apart, later in the video a demonstration will be available to see how it is reassembled, the counter dial. So on the top cover, we need 2 end cap screws removed. They're slotted screws. Make sure you use the right size slotted screwdriver so as not to damage the heads of the screws. Once those are removed, the top cover can be lifted free. Move the 2 buttons from their shaft posts now so you won't be looking for them later. In this particular camera, the rangefinder following lever is not staying in contact with the focus cam. It will need to be removed so the broken spring or damaged spring can be repaired or replaced. The rangefinder retaining screws can be accessed through the holes. With the rangefinder assembly removed, the cam follower action can be checked. Clean and lubricate to restore the pivot action. If the screw needs to be removed to complete this process, do so. Clean all the optics of the rangefinder before reinstalling it. Check the cam follow tension spring. Add extra tension if needed. Check the action of the mechanism after installing the rangefinder. If a simple horizontal infinity adjustment is needed, set the lens to infinity. Slightly loosen the lock screw labeled B. Turning the larger screw head labeled C one way or the other should align the images. If the images will not align, then the screw marked X might need adjusted. This adjustment is made with the camera closed. However, an infinity target is also used. Once the images align, then you can go back to C and try again. It is unlikely, but a vertical adjustment might be needed. The adjustments are very slight. Just a fraction of a turn with the screwdriver will make a huge difference. If the moving image in the finder is too high, you will need to slacken the screw at G and tighten the screw at F. If the moving image is too low, then slacken the screw at F and tighten the screw at G. If the top cover is a little grubby, now is the time to clean it up before beginning reassembly. As shown in other Fixo camera videos, a wooden stick works very well in detailing the camera. Before installing the top cover, don't forget the counter release spring and button, and also the shutter release button. They will balance precariously as the top cover is seated. Oh yes, and forgot about the adjustment screw A. Typically it does not need adjusting. In fact, it never really should be adjusted. It is used to ensure that the rangefinder is accurate at both ends of the focus range. It is not prone to falling out of adjustment, and rarely will fiddling with it improve its operation. Well, okay then. The top cover is in position, and get that screw in, and we can then install the advanced lever. The advanced lever, as promised, will have the counter installed in pieces rather than as a unit. This lever in place, the counter spring needs to be installed so it's seated in the position past the little pawl that sticks out of the counter. The advance lever. Okay, then comes the spring washer. It has to be seated in the proper position and is not cooperating. Oops. That's better. Then the counter gear. Then the counter plate. Notice the notches. Then the counter window plate. Notice that it has to all kind of be held in position and work down till the notches engage the spring. And once that occurs, the retainer for the counter can be installed and tightened with a spanner wrench. Open the camera. Check the operation for the counter to operate. And finally, install the rewind shaft bushing and the rewind knob itself.
Thank you for watching. Inspired? Check back for new video postings.